Hello, FBC Salinas. This is Pastor John coming to you with another edition of the Midweek Refresher video, where I desire to provide some information as well as inspiration for you in the middle of your week. I tell you this every week. I certainly hope your week is going well, and if not, may this video be a source of encouragement for you to remind you that Jesus Christ is with us no matter what. And if you're having a great week, may this video be a source of reminders of you that God is with you in the midst of your great week. So, hey, only a few things to go over as far as information goes. And the first is this Saturday, we are having what we've been calling a membership class. Now, listen, there's a lot going on. Perhaps you have some questions about what our core values are here, but you're really not interested in being a member, but you'd like to get to know more about the church. This includes you. So even though it's a membership class, it includes you if you're interested in getting to know us a little bit better. And so we'll go over core values, we'll go over the history of the church, you'll meet the staff, you'll meet the elders, and that's this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., and lunch is included. And so please join us. Let us know if you're interested. You can email me at john@fbcsalinas.com, or you can email the church at info@fbcsalinas.com, or you can call the church and let us know that you're coming, or you can drop by the church and just say, hey, I'm going to be there. So we'd love to have you join us. It's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. this Saturday. Lunch is included. I promise you this, it will be a great time, and we look forward to having you join us there. The second announcement is this. Family Camp is a week from this weekend, July 23rd to the 25th. If you're only interested in going to a portion of it, please let us know. We'd love to have you join us for that. If you want to go to the whole thing, that's great. But I will introduce Mark Rollins to you this weekend. For those of you who don't know who Mark is, but he's leading this. And so if you're interested, reach out to the church again, info@fbcsalinas.com. We can put you in contact with Mark, as well as answer a lot of the questions that you may very well have. And so I will only be going up for a portion of it because I need to preach on the 25th, but I'll be there on the 24th enjoying some time with all the wonderful people that are participating in Family Camp. The third announcement is this. On August 1st, we are having a hymn sing. And if you've never been to hymn sing, it's a great, we sing some classic hymns, and the great thing is all of the different hymns that we're looking at have stories that go with them. It starts at 6 p.m., and we're going to have some ice cream at the end of it. You know me, I love ice cream, and so we're going to have some ice cream at the end of the hymn sing. And one of the things that I really want to encourage you, the reason why I want to encourage you to attend, we're going to hear from an individual by the name of David Balch. David has started a new outreach ministry in Chinatown. And it's amazing what God is doing through him, and he's a lawyer, his wife is a doctor, and God is really doing some I use that word too often, don't I? God is doing significant work through their ministry down there, and they've only been going at it for a couple months, but I want us to hear about this, and perhaps you're interested in getting involved in a ministry that involves down in Chinatown. And so please be here for that. He's going to be speaking to us about that, sharing his testimony about how Christ has grabbed his life and all that Jesus Christ has done in the midst of grabbing his life. It's very exciting, great guy, and you will definitely look forward to it. So that's August 1st, 6 p.m. is the hymn sing. All right, so those are the things that are going on. And then I want to invite you to take a look at this passage in Matthew 14, because I think there's something in here. Well, obviously, there's something in here all the time, right? Isn't it? I mean, when we spend time in God's Word, God hits us with something. I may very well be preaching on something, but I've lost count how many times people come up to me after the end of a message, or they shoot me an email later that week saying, hey, I was really impacted by what the Lord said to me through your message on Sunday. And I'm thinking, I didn't say anything like that. But it's amazing how God uses his word to get into our hearts. And so there's this encounter that Jesus Christ has, and it's in Matthew 14. It's after Jesus feeds the 5,000. The guys get in the boat and they take off, and we pick it up in verse 22. Immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side. So they're going to the other side of the Sea of Galilee while he dismissed the crowd. So there's this huge crowd. Jesus is dismissing them. There's all this excitement. A great miracle's occurred. The guys get in the boat. They're taking off. But we know what, well, many of us know what happened. It says this, after he dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. Later that night, he was there alone. This is part of the reason why I wanted to take a look at this. In the midst of Jesus doing ministry, he would take time to be by himself. He would take time to pray. He would take time to, in essence, again be reminded of what he was to be all about. He did that all the time, and yet I find this to be true in my life right now. As we get into more of a post-COVID world right now, I find myself slipping back into busyness again and getting rushed. Jesus never seems to be rushed. He always seems to take time when he needs to take that time. So I want to encourage you to take the time, to take the time and pray. If Jesus Christ took the time to pray, doesn't it make sense that we take the time to pray? I think it does. We continue on, and he says this, later that night he was there alone, and the boat was already a considerable distance from land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. It's a ghost, they said, and cried out in fear. Here's what's interesting about becoming tired or becoming really hurried. Keep in mind, the disciples had just seen Jesus feed thousands of people. They were involved in the food distribution. They had done miracles. They had seen him face to face, but they're tired. And in the middle of the storm, Jesus walks out to them, but notice, they don't even recognize him. They think they're seeing a ghost. Is it not possible that in your life and in my life, as we get busier and busier and busier, Jesus is walking out to us and we can't even recognize him? That's why we need to take the time to recognize him. That's why we need to take the time to realize he's with us. And notice what happens next. Jesus says to them, take courage, it's I. Don't be afraid. Lord, if it's you, Peter replied, tell me to come to you on the water. Come. So Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and beginning to sink, cried out, Lord, save me. My prayer for us right now in the midst of all that's going on in our lives is that we will walk to Jesus, knowing that he's walking to us. And knowing that when we get buffeted by these waves and when we get terrified of these waves that are happening, that we won't sit there and drown, but we will do what Peter did and say, Lord, save me. He's there. He wants to reach in. He wants to rescue. And he does a really good job at that. So whatever's going on in your week, may all of us cry out. May you cry out, may I cry out and say, Lord, save me when things are overwhelming. As a matter of fact, Lord, save me no matter what. And he reaches in and he rescues. May we know that he's there to rescue us and to walk with us no matter what comes our way. I love you. I hope the rest of your day goes well. God bless you. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.